Straight up TVZ slugfest. Here we go.
All right, let's see.
Will it be Koget or TY2 advancing to the round of 16?
Yeah.
And at the top right position will be TY2 as the Red Zerg. At the bottom right as the TL Terran. We will have Koget.
All right. So Fighting Spirit, a lot of options here, definitely. I do have to say that we have seen a lot of interesting TVZs back, even in the preliminaries. Actually, we've seen some. Like, I remember that game where flying basically bypassed the mech and the mines in the middle by basically going drops.
Yep, that was really cool.
Yeah, so basically there's actually quite a lot of things that you can pull off on this map. I'm really interested to see how they are going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see if the game gets to that point. That'll be sort of, mid-late game shenanigans.
Yeah.
Or if the game goes, like last game where it's just ended with that one huge attack. It's actually interesting thinking about that last game because it looked like the Zerg was ahead after the Muta attack did so much damage, and then just really nice positioning and control from Koget just takes it down instantly. So,
well, the thing is, you mentioned about the backstab, that it was relatively too early, and basically the Zerg did lose a lot of his units there. So
yeah,
I would assume that united with the fact that at the end of the battle, Koget had very good control, and I think TY was slightly mistimed in the flank. The top force, I think,
yes,
went in a little bit too early, or the other side too late, no matter how you want to put it. So I would assume that those three factors together basically ended the game there.
yeah, that definitely makes sense. Just a combination of a few errors there. But, well, we actually have a pool first here from TY2. Not something you see every day. Wait, that... was that an overpool or... Yeah, it must have been an overpool. Okay, overpool expand from TY2.
Maybe to deflect possible bunker rushes. I mean, you can sort of go for a bunker rush and then basically wall your natural, so... I remember watching TrueTouch stream when he was streaming on Fish, and a lot of turns would be doing this on Fish. You know, just basically start with something like an early Rax, try to put some pressure, and then if it doesn't work, basically wall in and go for the command centers. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, I suppose so. I'd be happy to see this followed up with like 2-hatch Muta type thing. To see some earlier aggression, but we'll see what he does. He's got 4 Zerglings almost at the bunker here at the front. Wow. Early bunker going to scare away the Zerglings, but I'm pretty sure he's going to go for the command center right beside this. I always get paranoid looking at these buildings being placed close to where like a command center or nexus should be and worrying whether it's actually blocking or not. I can never tell. Like, a lot of times I look at it and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that doesn't block, but there's always like a small bit of doubt. Like, oh god, but what if it blocks?
Well, I guess we have seen, I think, even in this tournament, that it happens sometimes, right?
I've definitely casted games where it happens.
Yeah,
and
so
it's just hilarious.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, most of the time you would think that every single player knows exactly the location, but yeah, you can still mess it up.
Yes, indeed. Looks like the command center though is building just fine. And yeah, otherwise we're just gonna chill, see what's gonna happen. STV's still alive in the base, but gonna get taken down by the drone. Drone going for the kill steal.
Oh, 4 Marines are actually leaving right now. I'm assuming that's what Koget mentioned about trying to put pressure so the Zerg builds a sunken or more Zerglings.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, we see the creep colony started.
It's interesting, Koget like pressures quite early with the small number of Marines, which can be potentially risky if the Zerg, like for example, if Koget advances right to the next round, and if I'm a Zerg and I play him in the round of 16, I'm gonna watch these games and I'm gonna go 3-hatch and then secretly like get ling speed, make 12 lings, and wait for him to move out, just instantly kill it, right? It's like you have to be a little bit careful with these things as well.
I know, but the thing is, you'd have to actually prepare that before he even makes the move out, because you'd have to have the Zerglings on a location very close, so that he doesn't move out just a little bit, not long way enough. The problem is he actually sent an SCV forward to see if there was an attack coming in, and that SCV was even scouting if speed was done for the Zerglings. So I'm assuming if he notices that, he's like, oh, okay, going back.
Yeah, that's true, actually. He did have the SCV alive for a long time, so I guess he would have seen any Zerglings made. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. So he would be fairly safe, feeling fairly safe in getting those Marines out. It's pretty good. Anyway, looks
so,
like...
Spy.
Yep.
3 hatch, okay, that's good. And on the other side, we have the +1 started right about now. Stim is 40% out, 2 racks. And what's next? Oh, is it going to be... Okay, another Rex. Okay, so nothing crazy so far. The comp sets... I missed. I don't know exactly if they...
He saw the Spire.
Okay.
One annoying thing about these spawn locations is the back of the Terran's Natural is sort of facing the Zerg's base, which means it's very easy for the Zerg to do Muta harass, and then if the Terran tries to counter pressure with his Marines, the Mutas can just sort of easily come back and harass the Marines as they walk across the map. So I'd say these spawn locations are pretty good for the Muta harassment, and then defending the Marines, but we'll have to see how it plays out. There are 3 Sunkens now being forced by Koget with this initial Marine attack.
Koget also mentioning that with the SCV you scout for the lair timing, so you know if speed is actually going to be possible even to research for the Zerg.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So you probably would be, it probably would be difficult to get Zerglings with speed relatively early on.
See, man, that's why I'm not a Zerg player. That's why I just, 2-gate people. It's much easier. You don't have to worry about these kinds of things.
All right, so the three hatch muta, I think it's 9, right? You get 9 mutas. The question is if you usually don't commit further more than that, if I recall correctly.
You can get like 1 or 2 more. You can basically go up to like 1 control group, or like 11. You go up to 11 obviously because you need to group with something to stack them.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't make too many more than that unless you're going for some kind of weird all in. So yeah, basically 1 or 2 extra. And then you can switch into other things. And sometimes you don't even need to make the extra if you're doing a really good job microing.
And TY's micro so far with the mutas was relatively good. I mean, it's not, July like complete crazy level, but it's very good overall getting the kills.
Yeah.
Now, the amount of turrets is fine so far in the natural, also good amount of Marines defending that factory. So,
Factory's actually blocking his Marines a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, not too good yet, but still should be fine.
Oh, nice micro. The turret positioning is good though. The line of turrets here at the natural, I think it's pretty standard placement here, but it's really nice. It's just like having the turrets close together means they can all get firing at once and cover each other. And it's really hard for the mutas to get in and pick stuff off.
Still getting some SCVs. Actually, that's a good amount of SCVs.
The Zerg is taking the 12 o'clock as the third. I don't know if that's because he knows the fire bat is here to block the drone.
Maybe, but even though that's the case, you have 2 ramps, so you have to put wait, 4 lurkers?
Yeah, you need more lurkers to defend this. I don't know if he's planning to just get a bigger mid-game army to help defend this. He's setting up the mutilating for a backstab, but the Marines actually saw them moving to the side, so he's going to intercept.
Yeah. It doesn't look like TY is going for that because he's finishing lurkers, he's getting armor, and so far that's about it. No Queen's Nest yet.
Marines moving through the middle. Gotta be a little bit careful. Muta's gonna try and get more free kills they can. Nice. But if the Marine Force gets whittled down too much, the Muta lane can just commit and kill it outright. So he's gotta be a little bit careful about this. And there's the stim. Gets a lot of shots off on the mutas. That's good.
Yeah, and lurkers are still not out, especially in the 12 o'clock. So
yeah, 2 morphing at the natural. They do get scanned. Actually, 2 just finished and coming out now. But the Marines are in position. But more Zerglings coming from the 12 o'clock as well. Looks like he's actually just going to go for the big attack. And Mutiling and Lurker coming in here.
Yeah, he did kill a few mutas there.
Yeah, nice little focus fire at the beginning on the mutas, but it looks like Oh man, he's gonna lose the rest of his force. He's trying to run away. And maybe... Oh, he's regrouping actually. Reinforcements coming in.
Ooh.
Nice job, Koget.
Yeah, very good.
Picks off
Not only
all...
getting the mutas, but then drawing them back to more fire.
Yeah. Good. You know, standing in... Because basically, when the Zerg moves in like that, the mutas tend to... And the Lings go in first, and the Lurkers need time to come in and burrow. So you can sort of like focus down a few mutas and then move back a little bit, shoot some Lings and mutas, and, you know, basically avoid the Lurker damage altogether. He killed all but 2 of the mutas, so that was really, really nice. In the meantime, just going for those science vessels, getting his 4th barracks as well, and a command center. Going to float that over to the 6 o'clock. I'm still curious about what the Zerg's build here. TY2 taking this 12 o'clock makes me feel kind of.
He should have started his Queen's Nest a very long time ago. He had the money for it. Now he might not actually reach the Filer.
Yeah, he doesn't even. His Queen's Nest is finished, and he doesn't have the money for Hive. He's actually made an additional hatchery in the main. I'm not sure if that's necessary, or if that money could have been used on the Hive instead. I guess we shall see with the production. Maybe that's fine, actually. I can't remember how much a Hive costs. Is it 200, 100, something like that?
Is it 200, 200?
Might be 200. I can't remember. Anyway, so it looks like that's finally started now. The first vessel is on the way, as well as the dropship. I like that Koget makes this dropship. He did that last game as well.
Yeah.
He made the dropship very, very quickly. I feel like that used to be something Terrans almost always did, but nowadays I don't feel like I see this fast dropship much anymore for some reason. Terrans just make the vessels straight away.
I mean, you usually might be a little bit afraid that if your first vessel gets sniped, then actually that little extra time is enough for the Zerg to get consumed. Maybe. I mean, usually the Terran timings to try to make a push are relatively close, right? You many times see when the Terran is about to push, just half a second later, everything is finished to manage to get that swarm down.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I have no idea what the timing on that is. That could very well be the case. So I guess we'll have to see. Looks like Koget gonna kill his Manor turret. A few Zerglings coming in to clean up some reinforcements here, if they can. Oh man, the Lurker! Oh, actually the Lurkers are coming as well. He's just going for the backstab. He just ran around from the 3 o'clock, avoided the main army completely. He sees the dropship, and the main Terran army now is coming back. You can see, but they're a little ways away. But I don't think the Lurkers can actually bust in here. They might. Yeah, they're going to go down to the 6 o'clock.
They could actually. The good thing for Koget is that there's no SCVs there, so he's not really going to lose any economy from that.
Yeah, and in fact, he's not even going to commit the army. He's just now going to send the army to counterattack. Oh man, but are these stop Lurkers?
And there's no vessel.
Oh, finally it's coming though. Okay, it's going to be okay.
Oh, because the first game that costed him really dearly.
Yep.
Okay, so the 6 o'clock is denied, which is pretty bad for Koget. And so far, there is actually a Nidus Canal already at the 12 o'clock. And
dropship goes into the main base. The Scourge are on patrol, but they patrolled exactly the wrong way as he was going in. So they missed the dropship.
And there's a fire pad in there as well, so that's going to do some damage with the Zerglings.
Oh man, he didn't actually stim these though, but there we go. There's the stim, and oh man, the Zergling's getting roasted. The drones getting roasted.
Oh, that's fire bad.
One more shot. Oh.
No. But still, pretty good. And while that's going on, he's also actually killing Lurkers at the 12 o'clock.
Nice job. Sieging it up. Oh man, some Spider Mines also being laid outside the natural already. So being really, really annoying. But 2 Lurkers stopping everything from happening at the 6 o'clock as well. The Lurkers actually coming down the ramp. Lurkers in the back as well. A lot of Lurkers everywhere, but they're not quite close enough. And it looks like Koget might actually clean everything up here. It's going to be a very, very close exchange. There weren't enough Zerglings to help support. It looks like it's basically going to be an army trade here in the middle of the map.
Unfortunately, I think that's a lot better for TY, because TY still has his 12 o'clock. He can now drone it down a little bit. And at the same time, Koget is still trying to reclaim his 6.
Yep, looks like Siege Tank's going to take care of that. Oh!
Yeah. Oh, actually, that Lurker is still kind of annoying.
That is actually really annoying for Koget.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, there is now the transition to the mech, but there's enough money that maybe Koget would want to make a few more rounds of file just to keep himself stable.
Oh man, Zergling's coming in though, exactly as he unsieged to go and take out that lurker. Zergling's coming in again, forcing the lift, and this time killing some SCVs. Some more units coming in now, but look at this, random units running down all over the place from Koget. Or sorry, from TY.
Yeah. And wait, Cracklings I think are done. So these Zerglings are really annoying now.
But now he has some Medic Marine at the top of the ramp and he lands. And remember, even though Koget can't really mine from this third base, it doesn't really matter because the Zerg is still on his 3 base. So, you know, it's not the end of the world that he's getting delayed here. If he starts mining it now, that's absolutely fantastic. He'll be on even bases with the Zerg. Yes, Hive is done now, and he doesn't really have map position. But Koget, I think, is still okay. And he's gone for the mech switch. He's got a lot of factories already completed.
Yeah, but the thing that worries me is in the first game, this was pretty much the moment when he started to fall apart. You remember the second game? He basically won like with this first strong push, and I think he actually had the opportunity to do that in this game as well when he first moved out with his first, I think, 2 or 3 tanks. There were no defenders, you know.
Yeah, he also had position where, you know, while doing the mech switch, he still had enough Marines to be able to, you know, lay a bunch of mines outside the Zerg's bases, and he doesn't really have that position this time, so he's not going to be able to get the ideal mine positions. I mean, yes, he's moving out now, but TY has a little bit more breathing room and is now getting the top left base. Of course, this is actually completely undefended, so a few vultures over here would be really nice. There are actually some vultures moving for Koget now. TY, on the other hand, is getting his Ultralisk Cavern, though, getting up to those really scary Hive units.
Yeah, I mean,
the vultures are here.
Koget definitely can, like, it's not like he's behind yet, but if he continues this kind of style, he might get there relatively soon, because the Hive it's not only about the Hive and what you mentioned about the map, that basically there are not really many mines on the map yet, but also I don't see him producing fast enough from these factories so far. It's pretty good, but with Swarm can negate a lot of these units.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Swarm definitely helps a lot, but I think, I mean, it's questionable. So, you know, mines and stuff are obviously great, even under Swarm. They're great against all the Lurkerling, Defiler, even Ultras, everything. But at the same time, you know, if there's like swarms around, it's much easier for the Zerg to run in and blow up your own units and that sort of thing. Wow, look at the minimap, by the way. Great Overlord spread. Look at that red vision. Red dots everywhere. Loving that vision from TY, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. No bio, no anti-air. Actually, a Muta switch could be quite good right now. Oh no, wait, they're vessels. Never mind.
I mean, even with vessels, you do see that every now and then when the Terran has super late game mech. Suddenly the Zerg just builds like a control group in Muta and runs around and kills a whole bunch of tanks for free. I mean, it's not going to end the game usually, but yeah, if you can build a control group of Mutas and kill a control group of tanks, that's already worth it, right? So, you know, it's just quite expensive. So, and I expect TY is spending all of his gas on the Ultras right now. He is researching drop as well, and he's getting some Hydras as well, of course. The Hydras basically the only units that can help clear the mine without killing themselves, clear the minefields, rather.
Well, Koget is expanding again, which is something I really like. At least you can always try to keep the economy wars going while you're still trying to get something done.
Yeah, that's very important. And, you know, he does have the minefields on the map now to know where the Zerg army is. And obviously the Vultures are so fast, they can very easily reinforce stuff. And, oh, it looks like, oh, that's one problem with not having anti-air is that your vessels are very, very exposed. Might want to add a couple of Goliaths here and there to make sure the vessels are at least protected here.
I mean, oh, an Ultra drop?
Nice. Oh man, Link's dropping on the tanks as well. Oh, that's huge. Actually did a lot.
As long as there's no anti-air, he can keep doing that. Oh, there they go, lads. So that's at least going to provide some coverage for the tanks.
Yeah, I think that's quite important.
But the army supply for, the population for TY is growing quite rapidly at this point. He's got 4 bases, he's getting his 5th. And Koget is kind of stuck a little bit because he's keeping losing units to small things like these Sunkens right now killing the Goliaths. So
TY is actually only like 10 supply behind. He's actually supply block now, but he's only like 10 supply behind the Terran. You know, less than 20 supply behind the Terran. When really I think the Terran should be a little bit further ahead, although he is going next, so maybe not necessarily that much more ahead. But another ultimate drop directly on top of the tanks and
gonna
cleans
clean all
up.
these tanks.
Now, I think that was a mistake from Koget. I don't know why these tanks are out here by themselves. That was like 8 tanks here that had no support whatsoever, and I don't think they should have been there. I think as soon as they lost the supporting units, you should have immediately pulled them back. One nice thing is, though, that Koget's going to get a lot of damage on these ultras from the mines. Mines are so good against ultras, actually.
And, well, these ultras actually don't have even speed yet.
Oh, it looks like there was a drop in the bottom left, by the way. I didn't see what happened there, but the command...
One Zergling killed a few SCVs, and the rest are running away.
Nice. In the meantime, we have the good old barracks attack at the top left.
Yeah, always granting vision, pretty good.
And, well, Koget. Oh my god, Koget's mining from the middle of the map. What the...
What? I actually thought that was an army. I never actually even looked at that.
He's got a command center here. What the heck? Oh,
Wait,
right,
if
nice.
you're trying to be constantly aggressive from different sides and you use that as kind of your choke point to do that, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
That is actually really funny. And he's double gassing it too. Oh my god, that's so smart. I love it. That is actually awesome. Well, I don't know if it's that smart. This is kind of weird, but it's awesome. It's awesome. Let's call it awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird a little bit because Koget, really, the question right now is, what is Koget's plan? You know, we mentioned Lancerex against Cryog, that they didn't seem to have a plan, but what's Koget's plan? Because he seems to be trying to, like, drain the bank of TY by using mines and trading efficiently, but he's not trying to make any headway into one base.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's not terrible considering late game TVZ, if you're going like, you know, after the full mech switch, is really hard for Zerg actually. To the point where I think a lot of Zergs, like the Korean Zergs even, are complaining about Fighting Spirit being good for Terran. Because it's just like once you hit the late game and the map is split, there's like almost nothing you can do as Zerg. So, you know, playing this kind of style, like the War of Attrition, isn't necessarily a bad move. But of course, we are still a bit far from that because Koget hasn't even really mined from the bottom left bases yet.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree that as long as if you can pull it up, definitely sure. But it gets trickier and trickier every time, and the Zerg can eventually try to basically mass drop you.
I don't like that these tanks are moving out without support though. Look at the top right. That's a lot of tanks by themselves, and you see they just get killed so easily by the ultralight under the swarm. They really need support.
It would be actually better to just attack without sieging. then you can at least get out of there.
Yeah. That is a huge waste of like a full control group of tanks there. I'm not sure what he was thinking with this attack.
Doesn't look good, really.
And it looks like the one Defiler, one Lurker army at the top is going to get taken down. Oh, doing the micro. Hey! Oh, he lost the Marine anyway.
Koget is losing like 40 tanks, but he's looking at just microing that one Marine. It's kind of funny.
It is.
But
you got to make the pin displays, man.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in a funny way, Koget is not really behind yet. So, I mean, he's getting the upgrades for the mech, because let's not forget that this mech army was like one attack and no armor for quite a while. So these trades, the longer the game goes, eventually you're gonna get a little better upgrades, because TY is pretty much, he's at like what, 3-2 basically. So his army is not gonna get much stronger, but Koget's actually can.
Yeah, I think TY, what does he need to do? Okay, he's taking at 3 o'clock. He should probably start mining from there. Maybe he can go for like a Doom drop on the main or something like that, because attacking through the middle of the map, he's taking so much. He's taking so much damage from the spider mines. I mean, look at this. Yeah, he's killing a lot of Terran units as well when Koget overextends. But okay, here we go. See, this is what I'm talking about. Bottom left, big drop. This is what you need
Yeah.
to do. Bypass the mines, sort of like what you mentioned at the beginning of the game, of just, you know, going for lots of drops and just avoiding the spider mines entirely. This is a really, really nice move here. But counterattack from Koget, gonna take out 3 o'clock, nothing really here to defend. He's almost certainly gonna take it out, but Koget actually needs another expansion soon. He's now, his 6 o'clock is sort of half gone, and the middle of the map actually doesn't have that many murals in the first place. So it's kind of like a full base-ish. But you know, Koget should maybe start thinking about securing the bottom left here. He's sort of spread out all over the middle of the map, and that's why we see lots of these random attacks where he doesn't have that many units in one place and sort of loses a lot for free.
Wait, the command center is still getting attacked with the Zerglings at the bottom, and oh, okay. Because I thought for a second there he's actually going to lose it because he's not paying attention. I do think that the only thing that I would say that Koget could try to do is put a few turrets at the 9 o'clock so that it at least gives you warning and denies the direct path for the drops. But I would say that right now, what's the gas count for Koget? He has a lot of gas, so he could even go for something like a few air units, maybe 4 or 5 wraiths, basically completely deny any kind of drops. I mean, I'm trying to, because in reality, if this game continues like this and you constantly don't allow any ground movement, then you only have to worry about the air, right? As long as you got that cover, basically, because let's be honest, the army of the Terran is constantly closer to the Zerg's main than the other way around. So the 3 o'clock, it's not going to be easy to defend once you can't get out of your natural.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean,
Strategic.
maybe some Valkyrie. No, dude, instead of Wraiths, it should be Valkyries. Do you remember like Jaedong losing to, I don't know, who was it? Was it like Kanata? It was some random, you know, lower like B class Terran, because he just like had mass Valkyries late game and kept killing all the overlords, and then Jaedong couldn't do anything. He's like, what the heck?
I mean, because late game of Zerg actually never has enough gas to make a heavy transition to like Mutas or something like that. They spend all of that in Defilers, Ultralisks, so yeah, it actually can work.
Oh man, Ty2 is actually suiciding a lot of units right now to these tanks in the middle. I'm not sure why, but Koget's gonna kill the 3 o'clock yet again here. And now the bottom left seems to be pretty well established. Turrets even being made at the 9 to help block any additional drops.
Okay, so at least it seems like I have something right about how he should do this, because he's agreeing with me. The thing is though that I have to say I'm really surprised that TY didn't try to commit to dropping into the main of the Terran.
I don't know, maybe he's just too focused on the middle of the map, and I mean, I just really don't know. If you just look at the middle of the map, Terran has the map control. It's just not efficient for TY to do anything because the mines just keep blowing up all his units. But I don't know, maybe he just like tunnel visioned a little bit and isn't really thinking about it.
I mean, he's still. The problem is that he has 3 bases left, from which the 12 o'clock is the one that has the least minerals, and that's not too healthy. And once those bases are gone, because the Terran can still claim a lot of bases with this army, but I don't see how the Zerg can do that.
Yeah, looks like good old irradiated Ultralisk gonna erase her some SCVs here. It's always my favorite thing to do, or to see. But now we have the big attack at the top left, or not really big attack just yet. It's funny, both players keep attacking with really small groups of units, and it's so confusing because it's late game mech, right? I keep expecting to see this like giant mech ball rolling into a base, and every time I look, it's just like one control group of units. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Right.
You know what's actually really interesting? Koget is at 176 supply, and I have trouble finding a pack of units. That's
exactly,
like...
it makes no sense. Oh, the GG though from TY. And Koget, after dropping the first game, makes the comeback, 2-1 comeback.
Wow.
And takes a series. So,
nice game.
Yeah, Koget advancing to the round of 16. Congrats to him. Whew.
Well, so
That
Yeah,
was
that's
such a messy ZVT, but it
yeah.
actually somehow worked. It's funny because I feel like messy ZVTs usually go in the Zerg's favor because they're much better at small scale skirmishes. But Koget managing to pull that out quite impressively. So yeah, nice. We got a Terran in the round of 16. All right, good
That's
stuff.
good. That's good. So
Uh,
is Koget the official Terran hero? I mean, is there? Well, we still have some games that we don't know, so
yeah,
maybe there's other Terrans.
I don't know if the bracket is up to date right now. Tubaklis is saying something. Let's see what he says. But I might be able to
Okay.
show the bracket. Okay, so it looks like actually because of course there were a lot of series that we didn't cast today in the round of 32. Um, we may be organizing an extra cast, an unofficial cast, depending on who's available. We might get someone else. If you're a caster and you'd like to cast some games, get in touch with Tupacalypse, and at some point this week, we may give you some replays to cast. And otherwise, next weekend will be the round of 16 cast. But if you want to look at the bracket, it is online. I can provide the link in the chat right now. But there are spoilers, so if you want to watch any of the extra games being casted without being spoiled, do not click this link.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna have a quick
And
look here.
dude, do we have a delay for like 20 seconds and you pause the link and you tell it at the same time? People are not gonna know that until they click it.
Whoops. All right, whatever.
That was a good troll. Oh,
Hey man, it's all
that was good.
good.
No, I
It's all
actually like
good.
that.
All right, looking at the brackets. Oh, you know what? You know what's funny is I can say that Koget is not the only Terran in the round of 16, and that doesn't spoil anything because there's a
Oh,
TVT.
what?
Because we have Flisk versus Preddy
Oh
in the round
yeah.
of 32, so one of those Terrans will actually advance as well.
Nice.
So we'll have at least two Terrans in the round of 16, which is really nice. Awesome. All right, sweet.
All right, so well, we'll see about that. If we get anything else organized, but yeah, it's cool.
All right, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. Huge thanks again to our sponsor, Rustbrain. Thanks again to Team Liquid and all the wonderful support staff helping check the replays and organizing and refereeing matches. And thanks to my co-caster, Cat's Paw.
Thank you, Sale. Great to be here with you.
Excellent. So yeah, once again, thank you all for watching. That is all for tonight. I hope you guys tune in to the round of 16 cast next weekend. Same time, I'll be here. Cat's Paw will be here. And I hope you guys will all be here. So have a good night.